Hello, everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 26 of Season 6 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Pennsylvania 400 here at Pocono Raceway, as we are getting set for 20 laps of racing at the Tricky Triangle. Now, before we take a look at the starting lineup, top 10 in the points coming into this race after the last race that we ran, which was Sawmill, I believe it was Sawmill. Jake Baskinger extended his points lead to 27 points over Jessica Shelton. Jumped up from 9th to 3rd was our winner from Sawmill, Caleb Kilburn, up to 3rd. Rob Evans 4th and Cole Deaver in 5th. 6th currently is James McLeod, 7th Anthony McCrory, 8th Dylan Poteet, 9th Jonathan Zorleen, 10th Benjamin Miles. Time is starting to run out for some of these drivers to get into contention to try and win this championship. But let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Pennsylvania 400. Starting in the last row is teammates Joshua Sekuli and Phil Parker. The top 10, Cole Baker is on the pole for today. Starting next to him is Jordan Forbes. Row 2 is Jonathan Zorleen, Dylan Jacobs. Row 3, Benjamin Miles, Caleb Kilburn. Row 4, James Qualls, DJ Curtis. And then row 5, Logan Bradley and Tim Fiegel. Let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Pennsylvania 400 at the Pocono.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers now rolling on the racetrack for their one pace lap around here. So this version of Pocono that we're using for the race here today is a 2016 FTF version, and this is going to be really, really interesting to see how this version is in comparison to the previous version of Pocono that we have used for a long time, and that's the 2012 FSE version. But also keep in mind, perhaps pit strategy is going to be a big factor in this race today. In fact, pit strategy has really been a big thing over the course of the last several races that we have had here in the Marvel Studios Cup Series. Perhaps some of the drivers are just really, really pushing it to the point where their fuel tanks might run empty. Could we see a big-time fuel mileage finish here today? Well, we're about to find out as we're getting ready to come through Turn 3 of the Tricky Triangle and get this race on the road. And then after this race, we got 10 more to go before we crown a champion. Pace car should be pulling into pit road any time, and I believe he's going in now. Indeed he is. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to boogity 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 go racing. Jordan Forbes, surprisingly, got the lead going off of turn 1 by using the outside lane over Cole Baker. Perhaps Cole Baker just didn't quite get going at the start of the race, but now Baker coming back to try and take the lead back that he had before the green flag dropped. But right behind him is Forbes' teammate Dylan Jacobs, who has had quite the abysmal follow-up season to his championship-winning season in Season 5. Does the word season still make sense? In fact, after the last race at Sawmill, he fell from 33rd to 39th in points, so he's almost last in the point standings. He's definitely looking to get some sort of momentum to try and end this abysmal season on a high note. But right now, Cole Baker actually took the lead back from Jordan Forbes, but he's got a new contender, our winner from Sawmill, Caleb Kilburn, with a run to the inside. Caleb Kilburn looking to go for 2 wins in a row and 4th overall this season and of his career. Keep in mind, this is Caleb Kilburn's rookie season in the Marvel Studios Cup Series, and he has shown a lot of promise. Currently 3rd in the championship standings, 3 wins, 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s. And could be on his way to being a champion in this series, perhaps, as right now he's holding a slim lead over now second place Benjamin Miles, in which Benjamin Miles came into this race 10th in the points. He's been kind of starting to rebuild momentum on his side, little by little, as the races progress. Although Miles looking down low, could he be trying to go for the race lead? Does he have enough of a run? It looks like he does, so Miles going to try and take the lead on the inside off of turn 1. Meanwhile, it's a bit of a cluster up here. This is like we've almost got 2 separate packs of race cars. You got Caleb Kilburn leading the way, all the way back to Rob Evans, who was last scored 25th, and then you got the rest of the field behind, with Sekuli leading from 26th on back. Although they're not too far behind, I'm not sure what the cause of this separation was, but regardless, a separation nonetheless. And I guess it didn't look like Benjamin Miles was going to be able to make that move work, so in turn, Caleb Kilburn still hangs on to the top spot on the track, but right behind him is veteran James Qualls, in which Qualls comes into this race 23rd in points. He actually had a big drop in the points after Sawmill, fell from 17th to 23rd, looking to rebound, and he really dove it in there and has a run on the inside, but it's almost like as if the slipstream, the draft, is going to affect how cars are going to be able to clear each other, depending on who is behind you, trying to give you that extra boost in speed. And I think because of that, it helped the 99 keep the spot, because he had Tim Fiegel kind of giving him that bit of a draft push, but Qualls really dove it in again. Wow, he made that pass look easy, but can he clear Kilburn off of turn 3? Yes, he does, so new leader, James Qualls. Whoa, Rafael Leduc got pretty loose trying to go to the bottom to get behind Caleb Kilburn, almost a wreck. But they save it, and now Kilburn going to come back and take the lead once again. And right behind him, DJ Curtis, in which DJ Curtis next season still going to be owning Curtis McIntyre Motorsports with Matt McIntyre, but going to be moving away from the 4 to the 33, which is going to be really interesting. Although, wow, little bit of crowding going on right there, as the 4 almost put the 70 into the wall, and that was from also Emmanuel Hartnett trying to make it 3 wide for the position. But I was going to say, with DJ Curtis moved up from 20th to 15th after Sawmill a couple of days ago. Right now having a good or better day here at Pocono, and maybe trying to go for the win. But remember, pit strategy is going to be key. We're getting close to the point of perhaps green flag pit stops. Meanwhile, 3 wide for the lead is Emmanuel Hartnett, who's last in points in his farewell season. Really dove it in there, but couldn't quite carry that speed, and is actually going to lose a little bit of ground as DJ Curtis, with help from James Qualls, trying to get that momentum going. But Hartnett not going to give up easily. He's got to run. still on the inside, but man, I got a feeling if they don't give each other enough room, there's going to be a big wreck. Let's actually go to helicopter camera and watch this. Oh, Qualls and Kilburn almost got into one another. That could have been dangerous. But meanwhile, Emmanuel Hartnett trying to get the position. It's a drag race at the line, but I think DJ is going to get it, at least on this lap. Let's see. Indeed, it was. I don't know. We could be on our way to a photo finish if possible. But look at James Qualls really dove it in there. You can definitely tell this season Qualls has been a lot more aggressive when it comes to the way he's racing, because of moves like that really dove it in there to try and get the lead, and he's almost making it pay off. He's got his fender, his right front fender on the left rear quarter panel of Curtis, but he opened up the door for teammate Rafael Leduc to try and take the position. And in fact, he clears Qualls. Does he clear Curtis? I believe he does. Big pass for the lead right there by the 09 of Rafael Leduc. And actually has a bit of a gap going now. Although I see a few cars electing to come into pit road. I believe the first one I saw was Jordan Forbes. Let's see. And is that damage I see on the 00 Phil Parker? Yeah, there is. He must have got into it with somebody on the racetrack, because he's got a buckle on the front end, and it's only two cars that come into the pits this time. Jordan Forbes and James Shelley. Interesting strategy on the part of those guys, but meanwhile, side by side between teammates, Qualls and Leduc battling it out for the race lead with Cole Deaver right up there. So is Chris Dollarton, DJ Curtis still up there. This has been by far perhaps the best race we've ever had in the history of this channel at Pocono. But let's see, because we're coming to 11 to go, let's see who all elects to come into pit road this time. DJ Curtis slowing down, so he's going to come in. I got a feeling that Qualls and those who stayed out another lap are going to be in the catbird seat, because if they have to come in this time, it would be coming to 10 laps to go, so they would only have to pit one time. Meanwhile, everyone else who just came in, as well as Forbes and Shelley, are going to have to come in one more time. And it looks like the majority of these cars are going 4 tires. Who's going to come out ahead of this group? Shelton gets done, but what about Curtis? Does he get out ahead of Shelton? Just barely got out ahead. And I think I now know who was involved in something. It looks like it was between Phil Parker and James McLeod. No caution. I think it was just a stack up, perhaps from cars slowing down to come to pit road. A good chunk of the field electing to come in, but still there are those who elect to stay out. Cole Deaver trying to go even longer. Same with Leduc. Although Leduc, I think he just ran out. Rafael Leduc is out of fuel. I think he tried to come into the pits, but because he was stuck on the outside, he couldn't. Man, that's a tough break for Rafael Leduc, who was a contender for this thing. And I got a feeling I don't think he's going to be able to make it to pit road. So I think we're going to have a caution. In fact, Cole Deaver has just run out. Zorleen has run out. Sanford has run out. Matthews. A lot of cars have run out of fuel under green. Man, oh man, and Cole Deaver was the leader. As we're watching, and I think Jordan Forbes is actually going to cycle around to the top position on the racetrack. But I don't know. I feel like if these guys don't get to pit road in time, I think the caution's going to have to be brought out, because, I don't know, Cole Deaver might barely get into the pits. In fact, he's still going a reasonable speed at 40 miles per hour despite decreasing. I think he's going to be able to get to pit road. Zorleen might be close. What about Sanford, as I'm trying to find him? Where in the world? Yeah, there's Sanford and Matthews. I think them, along with Leduc, They are not going to be able to make it, and the caution has come out. NNSCRA officials had very much no choice but to bring that caution out because there was no way some of those guys were going to be able to make it into pit road. But this caution may have been a lucky break for Cole Deaver because he managed to get to pit road. Jonathan Zorline, he's still running slow, but he's made it to pit road. Sanford, Matthews, and LeDuc, I'm not sure, but let's keep an eye on Cole Deaver and see if he's going to be allowed to get out on the track. Yes, he will. So a lucky break for Cole Deaver, even though he's probably not going to be able to get a good run today. Now, let's see. Now, I'm going to stick around until we come off of Turn 3 because now that the caution has come out, these drivers could come into pit road one more time during the caution to top off and then not have to worry about pitting for the rest of the race. But because some of these cars just got fuel in their cars, don't think they would be able to get a full enough tank to continue. So we'll see what happens. Although Jordan Forbes and James Shelley caught a lucky break for that caution because they have managed to cycle around to the top 2 positions on the racetrack. But are they going to come into the pits? I think they are. Then again, they pitted earlier than all the other drivers, so they're going to surrender the top spots on the racetrack, handing the lead over to DJ Curtis now. So DJ Curtis will lead the field to the green flag depending on what's going to happen whenever we get to the restart. But yeah, we're going to take a look and see what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Pocono. So yeah, indeed it is confirmed that the caution did come out for, as you see in the background, Sanford, Matthews, and LeDuc, and right up here with Zorline, all ran out of fuel, and it's a tough break for those guys because they might have been able to make this strategy work, but I think the reason why they ended up running out is because I think they were stuck on the outside lane when the majority of the field came to pit road during lap 10 going into lap 11, and they just could not for the life of them get to pit road in time and end up running out. However, Deaver was the luckiest one of the bunch to make it to the pits, get gas and tires, and he'll be good to go for the rest of the race. So he could be in the catbird seat, perhaps not, depending on how much fuel the guys who stayed out under caution can save to make it to the end. So let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Pocono. So after everything that transpired, 4 cars ended up 1 lap down, and they were the cars that ran out of fuel: Zorline, Sanford, Matthews, and LeDuc. So more likely, those are going to be 4 of the bottom 5 for sure. Now that 5th bottom 5 spot's up for grabs, but we'll see how things play out as we're getting ready to get set to race with 5 laps to go. So I feel like if another caution comes out, the race will end under caution. But different strategies going on as DJ Curtis is currently the race leader. 2nd is Chris Dollerton. 3rd is Jessica Shelton. 4th, Cole Baker. 5th is Joshua Collard. 6th is Carson Gumbs. 7th, Bradley Zorgdrager. 8th, Zachary Fitzwater. 9th, Emmanuel Hartnett. 10th, Benjamin Miles. 11th is Tim Fiegel. 12th is Caleb Kilburn. 13th is James Qualls. 14th, Joshua Sekuli. 15th, Anthony McCrory. 16th is Jake Rogers. 17th, Dylan Poteet. 18th, Trent Dunham. 19th, Dylan Jacobs. 20th is Rob Evans. 21st, Melissa Alexander. 22nd, Jay Jefferson. 23rd is Jake Baskinger. 24th, Joey Parkhill. 25th is Michael Norman. 26th is Logan Bradley. 27th is Johnny Gardner. 28th, Phil Parker. 29th, Seth Cole. 30th is Dylan Young. 31st is James McLeod. 32nd, Cody Lamas. 33rd, Matt McIntyre. 34th, Cole Deaver. 35th is Jordan Forbes. And then 36th is James Shelley. And then the rest are 1 lap down: Jonathan Zorline, Charles Sanford, Kyle Matthews, and Rafael LeDuc. That is 3 out of the 5 Retro Racing Enterprise cars 1 lap down. Tough break. But we're back underway. 5 laps to go here in the Pocono, Pennsylvania 400. DJ Curtis, decent jump, but Chris Dollarton was a rocket ready to fire, as here he comes with a run to the inside to take the lead. Chris Dollarton this season has had a really rather tumultuous season, currently 18th in points. Hasn't really been too big of a factor in a lot of races so far here in Season 6. But right now he has an opportunity to get his first win of the season. As right now, Dollarton hangs on. Cole Baker, who led early in the race, he could potentially still have a shot to win this. And what about some farewell drivers? Joshua Collard up here in the 4th spot, trying to look for his first win of the season, I believe. Yeah, it would be his first win of the season if he can pull this off. 4 laps to go here at Pocono. Dollarton still leads. Baker tried to make it a 3-wide move for the lead, but couldn't quite carry the speed in through turn 1, but now is able to try and carry a little more speed as he's got help, drafting help from his teammate, Carson Gum. Baker's still got the run, although Carson, look at him go, leaving his teammate hanging to dry as Carson almost came up in front of Baker, almost caused a wreck, but manages to get the lead for himself. And look at Zachary Fitzwater, one of only 2 drivers this season to have yet to score a top 5 finish. The other one being Jake Baskinger, who is, funny enough, the points leader coming into this race, and he has yet to score a top 5. Zachary Fitzwater trying to go for his first top 5 of the season, but perhaps more importantly, his first win of the season, as he's got a run to the inside of Carson with less than 3 to go here at Pocono. This has been a really, really fun race here at Pocono. We're probably definitely going to come back here in Season 7, especially with this version. This has been some really good racing and pit strategy on top of that, despite the caution coming out that kind of killed some of the strategy a little bit. Still side by side between Carson and Fitzwater, but Fitzwater getting a little bit of a push from DJ Curtis to try and get up there. Doesn't have Carson cleared, at least not yet, but is still going to be able to perhaps get to the lead at the line here. And indeed, he led at the line as it's now 2 laps to go here at Pocono. Still, virtually anybody within the top 15 has a chance to win this thing if they time their moves right. While Fitzwater is still hanging on, as Phil Parker came to pit road. I'm not sure if that's an indication or not, but I was going to say Carson Gum's still hanging on relatively strong on the outside line. As Fitzwater's still trying to clear Carson, and I think he will finally clear him this time, so Fitzwater now holds on to the lead. But man, this is going to get down dirty and nasty as we get to the white flag here. Does everyone have enough fuel to make it to the end without running out as the white flag is out for Zachary Fitzwater? But look at DJ Curtis, who led at the restart. He's looking to perhaps make some noise and go to the inside. And here he comes. Emmanuel Hardnett stuck in the middle, 3 wide, as Jessica Shelton, who's trying to get to the points lead again, or get closer to the points lead. She's up here perhaps in contention. Fitzwater got a big run off of turn 1 on the outside line, but DJ still trying to work that inside line to get to the lead. And he gets it for now and actually clears Fitzwater. That might have sealed the deal right there as DJ Curtis clears Zachary Fitzwater for the lead, and then Emmanuel Hardnett trying to make one final stride, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen as we're coming off of turn number 3 for the final time today. Checkered flag waving. DJ Curtis wins the Pennsylvania 400 at Pocono. Phenomenal racing here at Pocono with some pit strategy despite a caution for cars running out of gas, but we end up with DJ Curtis. I believe that's his first win of the season. Yes, it is. First win of the season for DJ Curtis, and I'm not sure how many wins that is for Curtis McIntyre Racing. Perhaps maybe only its second? I believe, because Phil Parker won earlier this season. Sekuli has yet to win, same with McIntyre. So, that's only the second win for Curtis McIntyre Racing. I think I see, Benjamin Miles ran out of gas, so some of these cars were just one lap to the good on fuel. So that's lucky for those guys that the race is over. So congrats to DJ Curtis, but let's look at the rest of the results. Emmanuel Hardnett gets his best finish of the season in second here today. That could help him get out of last place in points, or at least close in on a higher position. Jessica Shelton with a great run in the top 3, finishing third. Don't know if she'll get the points lead, but I think she'll get close to the points lead. Zachary Fitzwater finally gets a mission accomplished, gets his first top 5 of the season in 4th, and then Carson Gum rounding out the top 5 in 5th. Benjamin Miles with a great run, another great, fantastic finish for the 22 car in the 6th position. Tim Fiegel in his farewell season finishing out in 7th here at Pocono. Chris Dollarton with a great run in 8th. Cole Baker with a solid run in the 9th position. And then Anthony McCrory gets another top 10 in the 10th spot. And then there's the rest of your top 20, your top 30, and then the final bottom 5 were James Shelley, Kyle Matthews, Charles Sanford, Rafael Leduc, and Jonathan Zorlin. So tough break for those guys as the race concludes. Now, as far as where we are heading to next, again, I'm not sure, but that will be this Friday. I want to say it is Oswego? Indeed, it is Oswego. So we're heading back to a short track next time for the Advanced Auto Parts 400. But until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points heading into Oswego. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.